morning students, this is Ramesh Shende and today we are going to discuss a short story which is prescribed for the supplementary English subject BCom semester 4. Actually this is the remaining part of the story that we were discussing before this. The title of the story is My Financial Career and it is written by Stephen Leacock. So near about 75% of this lesson has already been discussed. So we'll be discussing today the remaining part, that is 25%. Okay. So before this in the previous lectures, we have already discussed. We discussed about 2-3 major things which I have written here on the blackboard. You must have listened this particular word. You must have read this particular. That is Pinkerton's Men. Pinkerton's Men means a detective agency. Okay. Then Baron Rothschild or a young old. So these two names imply rich people. So before going ahead, I would like to give you somewhat a summary of the lesson which we have already discussed. The narrator Stephen Leacock, or the author Stephen Leacock, when went into the bank, he wanted to just open an account with the bank because his salary was raised to $50 and he wanted to deposit that amount in the bank. But the problem is that when he went to the bank, everything was just quite new there for him, because before that he had never gone to the bank. It was the first time in his life that he had crossed the threshold of the bank kind of institution where we deposit money or we withdraw money from whenever we are in need of money. Okay, so he went there, he met the manager and disclosed this secret, or like to use the particular word secret for his act of going to bank and opening an account with that particular bank, right? So when he said that he just simply wanted to open an account, the manager took him to the accountant. He gave a form to Stephen Leacock and instructed him how to write, how to fill out that particular form. He completed that formality and at last the account was opened. Now Stephen Leacock was somewhat relaxed. He felt somewhat comfortable after he successfully opened an account with that particular bank. So till this point we have discussed this short story, that is my financial career. Then what happened? I read the lines and would explain you the meanings of those lines. Is it deposited? Stephen Leacock asked the accountant or the concerned person, authority who was there for this particular purpose, right? Is it deposited? And after opening an account, he deposited $56. I have written here. His salary had been raised to $50. Most probably he had already with him $6. It means he had in total $56 with himself. So he wanted to deposit $56, right? So after opening an account and after depositing that money, after handing over that money to the concerned person in the bank, he asked this very innocent question. He said, "What is it deposited?" I asked in a hollow, vibrating voice. Hollow, vibrating voice. This particular word shows that his confidence level was not good, right? He had not that much confidence. So it is, said the accountant. And when he asked this question, is it deposited? Is it deposited? Is my money deposited successfully in your bank? The accountant said, yes, sir, it's done, right? Then I want to draw a check. He just deposited money and after that he wanted to draw some certain amount, a particular amount from the bank. My idea was to draw $6 of it for present use. Again, I repeat one thing. He had deposited $56. How much amount of money? He had deposited $56. And from this line, we learn that he wanted to withdraw. He wanted to withdraw only $6. Right? My idea was to draw $6 of it for present use. someone gave me a checkbook through a wicket. So many sections are there, windows are there for these different purposes, right? Different kinds of transactions in the bank. So he was provided with a checkbook. With the help of that checkbook, he wanted to withdraw only $6 out of the amount which he had deposited. And how much amount he had deposited? He had deposited $56. I'm repeating this, but it's very important from the examination point of view also. Right, so he wanted to withdraw only $6. It's clear. My idea was to draw $6 of it for present use. Someone gave me a checkbook. He was given a checkbook through a wicket, through a window. And someone else began telling me how to write it out. And someone else, most probably the banker, instructed him how to write the check. Okay. The people in the bank had the impression that I was an invalid millionaire. The people who were there in the bank thought that he must be a rich person and he was going to withdraw some amount or even deposit. The people who did not know anything about him had thought that he must be a rich, a billionaire, and he was there to deposit a very hefty sum, a very big amount of money. But in fact, he had deposited only $56, and now he wanted to withdraw only $6 for the present use. Right. I wrote something on the check and thrust it. Actually kept it or put it at the clerk. The concerned person was there. Okay, was appointed for this particular purpose, the transaction of depositing and all these things. He looked at it. So this man, Stephen Leacock, or we can say the narrator of this short story, wrote the check, gave it to the clerk. Right, clerk took that check and looked at that check. What are you drawing it? What? He was exclaimed to see, was astonished, he was surprised to see that amount which was written by Stephen Leacock or the narrator on the check. What? Are you drawing it all out again? Are you going to withdraw the entire amount which you have just deposited in the bank? You must have understood one thing, that he must have written, I am using these words, he must have written what? He must have written $56. This is just an assumption. Whether it is true or not, whether it is correct or not, whether it is true or false, let's see. What? Are you drawing it all out again? He asked in surprise, because the clerk was very surprised to see the amount which this man, Stephen Leacock, or the narrator of the story had written on the check. Then he realized what? I had written 56 instead of 6. Just a moment ago, I told you that we discussed that he might have written 56. It is not just assumption, it was not just assumption. Actually, this man, Stephen Leacock, the narrator, had written how much amount? $56 on the check. And he actually wanted to withdraw only $6, but as he was confused, he was totally confused at the time when he was in the bank. He had literally no confidence, because it was the first time that he had gone to the bank and was doing this kind of transaction with the bankers, and that's why out of that situation he could not think properly, he could not literally think about all these things, and in that confused state of mind, instead of 6 he wrote $56. He had deposited $56, now he wanted to withdraw $56. In general, I'm asking you one question. If you go to the bank, want to deposit 1,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees, and instantly after the account is opened, you have deposited that money and you are writing a check and want to withdraw all the amount, what will be the scene there? You will be the laughing stock for all the bankers or the people who are present in the bank, right? So the same happened. In confused state of mind, instead of 6, he wrote 56. Already had deposited 56, and now just a moment later he was going to withdraw the entire amount. So all those people looked at him all of them got very surprised when they saw this amount, $56. What happened later? Let's see. What? Are you drawing it all out again? He asked in surprise. He asked in surprise means the clerk asked in surprise. Then I realized I had written 56 instead of 6. It was really a big mistake. It was a Himalayan mistake. It was a blunder. I was too far gone to reason now. He was so much confused that he could not think properly and write $6, and in that confused state of mind he wrote 56. It was really a big mistake. I had a feeling it was impossible to explain the thing, and now he thought that it was quite beyond explanation, and he got too much afraid. In fact, he was too much afraid. That is why it is very necessary for you, the young people, that you should know all these things, how to deal with the people, how to do the work in the organizations. This is just a common sense, we can say. This is a common practice, but we should get familiarized with all those things, right? I had a feeling it was quite impossible to explain the thing. All the clerks had stopped writing to look at me. All of them had got surprised. It was a big surprise for all the people, all the bankers who were in that bank, and that's why they just stopped their work and looked at this man, the narrator. Reckless with misery, I made a as the whole thing. Now he had this confidence. When he made a blunder, when he made a mistake, he said, yes, I want to withdraw the entire amount. You withdraw your money from the bank. The clerk wanted to confirm it from this man, from the narrator of this story. You wanted to withdraw the entire amount which you have just deposited. He said, yes, I want to withdraw the entire amount. Every cent of it, everything, $56. Yes, he said, I am not going to deposit anymore. This was really the question which compelled everybody to think about what was happening there. Said the clerk, astonished. Astonished means surprised. Never. And he said, never. And it hope struck me that they might think something had insulted me while I was writing the check, and that I had changed my mind. I made a wretched attempt to look like a man with fearful quick temper. The clerk prepared to pay the money. How will you have it? He said. I got his meaning and answered without even trying to think in 50s. He gave me a $50 dollar bill and the 6. He asked dryly in 60s. I said. He gave it to me and I rushed out. As the big door swung behind me, I caught the echo of a roar of laughter that went up to the ceiling of the bank. Since then I bank no more. I keep my money in cash in my pocket and my savings in silver dollars in a soap. So this was kind of I use that word incredible experience. Incredible experience for the narrator of this story, my financial career. This is the humorous ending, and this is one of the qualities or the characteristics of the writings of Mr. Stephen Leacock, a great author, right? So this was the story. After that, he withdrew the entire amount, and the clerk handed over that amount to the narrator, and he was confused, but he showed as if he was confident. He had too much confidence, as if he was insulted by the bankers. He did not show on his face, any kind of symptom of fear. And in that state of mind, he withdrew the entire amount which he had deposited sometimes ago, and that amount he went back to home. So this was the experience of the narrator, or here we can say Stephen Leacock, the writer of my financial career. So the story ends here and will stop. Thank you.